Namaste. We begin our class with Namaste as it is a greeting. And I welcome you to your practice on the virtual mat, wherever you are. Thank you for joining for yourself, for the peace that you hope to find within your heart, the strength and balance and feel goodness in the body. That will all come with your practice. The important thing is showing up and giving your best effort. No more than that, and that'll look different every class. So welcome to our new members, and we will get started in Shavasana. So join me laying back on our backs in the effortless posture, allowing the body to become heavy, allowing the shoulder blades, the hip points to melt into the earth. And bring your awareness to the breath, deepening your inhale, filling up the belly, the lungs, and exhaling slow and long through the nostrils. Spending an extra second or on the exhale each round, if you can. And as we begin here, I invite you to use your breath to bring yourself into your space, onto your mat or space on the floor, wherever you find yourself practicing today. Notice the heartbeat, the temperature of the air on your skin. Notice any thoughts maybe racing through the mind. And allow your breath to lull you into the rhythm of being alive, despite all of those extra sensations. Allow the breath to create a pause between stimulus and response, between thought and feeling. That is where the true power of peace and presence resides. That little space, the top of the breath when we're full before we exhale, and the emptying pause before refilling. On your next exhale, breathe out as much as you can, collapsing the rib cage, squeezing the belly, pressing out every drop of air, preparing then, after a little pause, for that big inhale. Sip in the air generously, bring the legs together, reach up overhead, watch the chest expand as you increase your air consumption a little bit more, and then open mouth exhale. Release the arms to your side. Draw the right knee in towards your chest and clasp your fingers down the top of the knee. And gently press the knee down and in towards your armpit, keeping both shoulder blades on the mat, tucking the chin, finding wind removing pose. Lengthen out through the left leg, pressing out through a flat foot as if you're pressing against a flat wall. 2 more breaths here. And then gently release that right leg back to the earth. And bring the left knee in. Clasping your hands around the top of the knee, same thing. Drawing that knee down and in towards your armpit, keeping the shoulder blades on the mat, tucking the chin to lengthen through the back of the neck and pressing out through the right foot, long through the right leg. 2 rounds of deep, slow breath here. And then on your exhale, release the foot to the mat, bend both your knees. And keeping your feet about hip width distance apart, walk the feet back towards your hips. So your heels coming inwards towards you. You should be able to just tickle the back of your heels with your fingertips. We're going to take bridge pose, but really focusing on activating the quads here. So find that activation of the quads to the top of your thighs, pressing the feet into the mat, squeezing the legs energetically together. Draw the belly button towards the low back. And on an inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the hips off the mat, finding a lift of your bridge, creating space underneath you. Relax the neck here. Keep the legs strong, but relax the butt. So just the quads are firing up here. Exhale, slowly release. We'll take 2 more of those. Give yourself a breath in between each round. Again, tucking the chin, activating the thighs, drawing the belly button towards the low back, and inhaling, lifting. Spending about 3 rounds of breath in your bridge pose. Balancing the effort with the release. Lowering slowly down the spine on the exhale until the hips melt back onto the mat. Take a breath here, and then prepare to lift for 1 more time. Feel the quads getting warm, maybe even a little fatigued. After your 3rd inhale, exhale, slowly lower down. Walk the feet a little bit away from the legs and lower the knees to one side and then the other like windshield wipers. And bringing them back up to center, walking the heels back in, supine figure 4. Cross the right ankle over the left knee as if you're sitting in a chair and crossing your legs. And create kind of like the number 4. So we're going to lift the left leg and try to get your foot flat towards the ceiling. You can stay here or you can reach between the legs, grabbing behind your left knee. Maybe you can bend your left knee and lower it down there. You can also keep it extended. Up to you. Keep the shoulder blades on the mat and press the right knee away energetically as you pull the left leg in towards you. Finding an activation in that right hip. Breathing into that tension if you feel any. Making sure the right foot is off the side of the left leg. So you should be able to roll the ankle one way and then the other here. Keep the jaw soft, the chin tucked, and the gaze soft. 1 more round of breath on the side. And then release that left leg. Extend the right leg straight, bending at the knee, plant the right foot back down, and we'll switch sides. Extend the left leg tall towards the ceiling, cross the left ankle over the right knee. And lift that right foot up off the mat, straighten the leg towards the ceiling. Stay here or bend the knee, clasping behind your knee with your hands. As you grab your right hamstring, bring that left ankle over the side of the leg so you can give a little circle with the other ankle, the left ankle there. One direction and the other. And then bring it to stillness and concentrate on that left hip. Press the left knee away as you draw the right knee in towards you. Long through the spine, tuck the chin. Soft gaze. Broaden through the collarbone and breathe. Two more breaths here. And then gently exhale, release. Bring both feet to the mat, soles of the feet together, and allow the knees to open towards the edges of the mat. Reach the arms up overhead, take a stretch. And then exhale, roll to one side, pressing yourself up to tabletop. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And we'll continue with our warm-up with cat and cow. So for cow, when you inhale, you're going to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chin. Like the back of your head is cinched in towards the tailbone. Breathe, opening through your heart, and then exhale like a cat, curling its back, arching its back. You also tuck the chin, drop the tailbone, and press the back of the shoulder blades up towards the sky. Release the neck. That's your exhale. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. And just continue with those two movements, following the rhythm of your breath. However, much slower or maybe a little faster than my pace. Tune back into those deep inhales and the slow, extended exhales. Find your own rhythm. Let that be your background music, that inhale, filling the body, the exhale through the nose. Take a couple more rounds of cat and cow. And then meet me in a neutral spine, just tabletop. And here we're going to lift the left arm at a 90-degree angle with the elbow, and the same thing with the right knee. So we're just going to open that right knee out. On an exhale, you're going to hug it in, elbow to knee, curl the spine. Inhale, lift, parallel to the earth. Exhale, close it in. One more time. Inhale to open. Exhale, hug it in. Plant the knee and the hand back on the mat, and then we'll move to the other side. Right arm lifts. Take a minute if you need to find your balance. Lift the left leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hug it in. Elbow to knee, curl the spine. Inhale, lift the elbow and the knee open. Exhale, draw them in towards each other underneath you. One more time. Inhale to open. Exhale, close it in. Bring your hand and your knee back down to the mat. Shift the hips over the heels, child's pose. Walk the arms forward, lower the forehead down. 3 breaths here. Your knees can be together or wide to the edges of the mat. Whatever child's pose shape feels best for you. On your next inhale, curl the spine as you lift yourself back to your tabletop. Extend the right leg back, just the toes on the mat, heel lifted, and then cross that right leg over the left. Begin to look over your left shoulder, trying to look back at a tail if you had one, and breathe into that lengthening on the outer right side of the leg, the hip. Full breath in and out. Inhale back to center and bring that right foot to the outside of the mat on the right side. And exhale, shift the weight back onto the left, on the heel, kind of finding like an extended leg child's pose, if we can call it that. Inhale back to center, draw that right knee in, and we'll take it to the other side. Extend the left leg back, heel lifted, toes on the floor, on the mat. And then cross that left leg over the right. Look over your right shoulder. Breathing into that left side body as you look for your imaginary tail back there. Or maybe you've got a real tail, I don't know. Look back at either your real or imaginary tail. And then exhale, coming back to center. Bring that left leg out. Plant the foot. Shift the hips back. Finding that extended leg child's pose, walking the hands forward, lowering the forehead down. Letting your inhale bring you back up. Drawing the left knee back underneath you. Bring the right foot forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower them down. Tuck the back toes. Step back to plank. Hold here for 2 breaths. Pressing the belly button towards the low back. Pulling the heart through the shoulders. On your exhale, lower the knees. And then bring the left foot in between your hands. Pull a left back, right hip forward to square the hips. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant them back down. Step back to plank, left foot Steps back to meet the right, top of a push-up. One more inhale here. Spin the biceps forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Maybe walking your feet in, letting the heels feel heavy, and pressing your chest towards your thighs. Slight bend in the knees is okay here. We're looking for a nice straight spine. Let your head hang heavy here. So lift up between your feet or maybe between your knees. Pressing down, lifting up energy from the arms and the legs like roots up to your core. Full breath in, open mouth exhale. Look between your hands. Tiptoe towards the top of the mat so you find a forward fold. One vertebrae on top of the other. Shoulders, chin, and gaze are the last to lift. Take a big breath in, open mouth exhale. Let it out. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Lowering the chest over the thighs, letting the head hang heavy. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold, step back to plank, top of a push-up once again. You can lower your knees to the earth if you need. One more inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down through chaturanga or knees lower. Lower your chest between your hands. Your chin comes to the mat. Your inhale, untucks the toes. Inhale, pull the heart through and the shoulders down the back for cobra. No weight in the hands here. Breathe out. Inhale, lift that baby cobra a little bit. Exhale, lower the forehead down to the mat. Tuck the toes. Press up to plank and back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here in downward facing dog. Coming back to your breath, allowing yourself to be present. Look between your hands. Make your way to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand. Bring the arms up with you. And we're going to go right back down. Exhale, forward fold. At the bottom, let the head hang heavy. Empty the breath. Inhale, hands to shins. Look up halfway, straight spine. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank once again. And lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, to cobra. Shoulders press away from the ears. Exhale, forehead down, tuck the toes. Inhale, press up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Lower the back heel, warrior one. So for warrior one, we're going to ground down through the low body. Squeeze the feet in towards each other and sweep the arms up. Hip points and shoulder points are squared towards the top of the mat. So just think about pulling that right hip back and pulling that left hip forward. You might need to adjust your stance a little bit. Your back leg might not be as straight. That's okay. Breathe. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands down to either side of the right foot. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, warrior one on the other side. Back heel spins down. Remembering to press down through the lower body. Squeeze the feet in and use that strength to lift your arms. Lift the torso. Left hip pulls back. Right hip pulls forward. Left knee is bent. Right leg is somewhat straight. Relax the shoulders into their socket. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands. Step the left foot back, finding plank or lower to your knees. One more inhale. Exhale, lower. Cobra. Or maybe you take up dog. Lifting the thighs off the mat, heart comes up, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Coming back to that pause between the inhale and the exhale, between one posture and the next, between thoughts and emotions, sensations and memories, all those little moments. Just take a pause. Disassociate yourself with your thoughts, your feelings. You're so much more than those human little pieces of anatomy and chemistry. Inhale, look between your hands, step to the top of the mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Stay for the exhale. Send your arms back behind you like airplane arms. You've got a straight spine, fingertips pressing back, arms hugging in. Inhale, drop the hips, coming through chair. Sinking the hips back, weight in the heels, toes should be able to wiggle. Energetically squeezing those legs together, slight tuck of the tailbone. Open through the heart. On an inhale, press down to your feet, stand up, reach up, little back bend. Exhale, release the arms to your side. Take a breath, take a rest. Maybe even closing the eyes, gazing slightly downward. Palms open in our mountain pose. Tune back into the breath if you've lost your way. And on an inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, release the breath through open mouth. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to chair, sink the hips back, heart stays open. Good. One more breath in here. Exhale to stand, coming up on the tippy toes, reach the arms up, maybe finding a little back bend. It's okay if you fall out or step forward or back, reach up. Exhale to chair, lower the hips, lower the heels, arms come up. Bring the palms together at heart center. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back, finding lizard pose. And for lizard here, we're going to still pull that right hip back, especially if you've got a lot of flexibility in your hips. If you've got open hips, it's easier for you to do those seated open hip postures. We're going to zip them in. Find some stability. So right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. If you'd like, you can lower that left knee down to the mat. Breathe in here. Flatten your left hand to the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up, twisting in towards your right knee. Exhale, reach that arm back. Inhale, cartwheel it up to frame the front foot. If you're not already there, lower the left knee down to the mat, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, plant them back down. Plant the left hand. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Again, twisting in towards that right knee. This time, bending that left foot or bending the left knee so your left foot comes up towards your glute. Maybe you can reach back and grab that foot. It's okay if you can't. If you've got it, breathe in here. Remember, keep pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. If you don't have the toe, it's okay. Just reach for it. Open through the heart, but hug the ribs in. Neutral neck. Breathe. On your exhale, gently release that foot. Cartwheel that hand to frame the right foot. Tuck the back toes. Step back to downward facing dog. Realigning the spine, letting the head hang heavy. Good. Look between your hands. Tiptoe towards the top of the mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. This time we're going to step the right foot back, lizard pose. Left foot between your hands. Right leg pulls forward, left hip pulls back. So find that scissoring action, closing the hips in a little bit. Remembering to lower your right knee if you need. Both hands to the inside of the left leg now. Planting that right hand, inhale, reach the left arm up, twisting in towards that left knee. Scissoring the legs together, drawing the energy up, reach up. Exhale, lower that left hand to frame the foot. Lower the right knee if you haven't already. Inhale, lift the heart. Again, scissoring the legs. So right hip pulls forward, left hip pulls back. Plant that right hand. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Gentle twist in towards that left knee. Bending that right knee, pulling that right foot towards your glutes. Reach that left arm back. Maybe you can grab that left foot or grab your right foot with your left arm. Open the heart. Breathe into that right quad. Soften your jaw. Keep that left knee hugging in. Easy on the neck. Find a placement of your gaze so that your neck isn't strained. Final inhale here and exhale. Gently release that right foot as you cartwheel your left hand back to frame the left foot. Tuck the back toes, step back to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale to plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, tiptoe, step, hop, crawl to the top of the mat, however you want to get there. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, send the arms back. Inhale to chair, knees bend, arms rise. Hug the belly in, broaden through the chest. Exhale to stand. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus arms, lower the elbows down to 90-degree angle. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale to mountain, 2 breaths here. Again, taking that moment, that pause to tune inward. Noticing any sensations flowing through the body. Maybe sweat's beginning to drip down your face. Maybe the heart rate has begun to increase. Notice any thought patterns beginning to tempt you down the rabbit trails of the mind. And just bring yourself back with a breath. Inhaling deeper into yourself, past the thoughts and feelings, the sensations, past the humanness, deep into your core. Exhaling, releasing that awareness, releasing the thoughts, the memories. Then on your next breath in, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands and heel toe your feet apart until they're wide enough that you can lower your hips between your heels for Malasana Yogi Squat. If your heels don't quite meet the mat, you can roll up the back of your mat and support them, or you can lift up out of your seat so your feet stay planted. Wherever you're at, keep a straight spine. So if you're all the way down here, you shouldn't be hunched forward. Lengthen through the spine, lift up the hips if you need to. Focus on dropping that tailbone, keeping a straight back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank, lower down. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward, warrior 2. This time the back heel spins down and your right heel is in line with your back arch. Left toes facing the edge of the mat. Cartwheel the left arm up and open. Arms out like a T, gaze over the front fingertips. Breathe. Sink down. Draw the energy up, lifting up out of your pelvis. Reaching the fingertips wide. Reach forward, flip the front palm. Reverse warrior. Right arm comes up, left arm goes down the left leg, open through that right side body. Pull the right shoulder back, open through the heart, always. Exhale, right elbow to right knee, side angle lunge, left arm up overhead. Full breaths. Inhale back to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, hop the back foot in, triangle pose, reach forward, tilt the right hand down, left arm up. Adjust your stance as you need. Blocks can be good here to hold on either side of your leg if you need to come up. Again, we want that straight spine. One more exhale. Use your inhale to lift you up and turn your toes to face the wide edge of the mat. Finding wide-legged forward fold, bring your hands to your hips. Toes parallel to the edges of the mat, facing the top. Little buoyancy in the knees. Exhale, send the hips back as you bring your heart forward, lowering your torso between the legs. Bring your hands down in front of your face. Let the head hang heavy. Shifting the weight forward to the balls of the feet. Imagine a little lift from the tailbone. Maybe finding a little weightlessness in the head. Big exhale out. Inhale, look up halfway. And then exhale, walk your hands back towards the top of the mat. Step to Malasana, that yogi squat. Couple breaths here. Prop up your heels or lift your butt up if you need to lengthen through the spine. One more full inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower down, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, elbows in. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, right to warrior two on the other side. So left foot steps forward, right heel spins down, right toes face the right edge of the mat, left heel in line with your right arch. On inhale, sweep that right arm up, opening through the hips, opening through the shoulders. Gaze over your front left fingertips. Settle in, draw the energy up. Hug the ribs in, reach out with the fingertips, reach forward, flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Side body stretch. Stay with your breath, even if it becomes a little bit shorter. Stay with yourself. One more inhale. Exhale, side angle lunge, left elbow to left knee. Reach the right arm up overhead. Broaden through the heart. One more breath in here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Settle in. Straighten that front leg. Triangle pose. Maybe you hop that back foot in. Light in that left knee. Reach forward. Back of the left hand to the inside of the left leg. Reach the right arm up. You want to find length here. And again, straightening through the spine, spinning the heart towards the ceiling. Squeezing the feet in towards each other. Be really strong in the low body. Two more breaths here. You've got it. If you're trying your best and you can still breathe, you're doing okay. Inhale to come back up. Turn your toes to face the wide edge of the mat, hands to your hips. Draw the elbows together this time. Remember to stay a little buoyant in the knees. Shift the weight forward to the balls of the feet. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Lowering the head, squeezing the elbows together. Weight shifting forward. Tailbone pressing up and back. Head hangs heavy. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Firming down into the feet. Inhale, look up halfway, and then come all the way up to stand. Step to the top of the mat. Arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, heel toe the feet about hips width distance apart. Grab either elbow for ragdoll pose. So just as the name implies, imagine you're just a doll folding over itself, letting your head hang heavy. Maybe sway left and right if that feels good. Maybe take a deep bend in your knees. You do want, again, the low back to be straight. And you can allow the upper back to kind of curl as you release tension from the shoulders. Another breath or two here. And release the arms. And roll the body up to stand. Head and neck are the last to come up. Heel toe the feet together until you find a firm, comfortable stance. Lower the tailbone, broaden through the heart. Arms open at your side, palms facing open. From here, we're going to take tree pose. So shifting the weight to the right, make a little kickstand with your left leg and bring it over to your ankle. Maybe you stay here. Maybe this is your tree. If you want to play around a little bit more with balance, draw that left leg up. Don't use your arm. Don't help yourself out. Use your own mobility. Use your body. Looking for that active place instead of the passing, grabbing, and placing. So draw your foot as far as you'd like. Still keep the integrity of the posture. Mind your knee. So if your foot is right against your knee, it kind of fits nicely there. Not necessarily bad unless you're totally dumping your weight all the way into that right leg. So firm through the right leg, squeeze the right foot or the right leg into that left foot. Try to avoid the knee if you can. Otherwise, just be gentle with it. Good, one more inhale. Maybe you grow your tree up, totally optional. Exhale the hands down as you draw your left knee forward. Lower the foot down to the mat. Shake it out if you need. Purse the lips, let all that energy out. And then find some stillness for the other side. Firm the low body. Shift the weight to the left. Lift that right kickstand of your foot and walk it in. Slowly draw that right foot up the leg, finding the point of challenge where you can still breathe, where you can still be loving towards yourself, where you can still have a little fun with the posture. Remember, squeeze the leg and the foot in towards each other. Like growing roots down through the foot, reach down the left leg. Draw up through the spine. Inhale, maybe begin to lift the arms up overhead. Again, totally optional. Exhale, blossom open the arms as you draw the right knee in. Slowly lower that right foot in the arms. Shake it out. Let's flow it out. Inhale, reach it up, look up, gaze up towards your fingertips. Maybe you arch back a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step back to plank or to hands and knees. Hang out here for just a breath. You've got this. I'm right here with you. Inhale, find some length in the spine. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right heel up and back. And bending at the knee, tuck that right heel in towards your glute and begin to tilt the hip open. You're gazing underneath your right armpit, stacking the right hip on top of the left. Good, breathe here. Three-legged downward dog. Exhale, lower that hip back, extend the leg long, and plant it back down. Begin to walk your dog, lowering one heel, bending the opposite knee, taking a little cha-cha with the hips. Maybe noticing a little bit difference on one side than the other. Good. And find some stillness. Press your chest back towards your thighs, fingertips spread wide. Inhale, sweep the left heel up and back. Bending at the knee, tuck that left heel in towards your glutes and open the left knee, open the left hip until you begin to tilt towards the right a little bit, gazing under your left armpit. Breathing here, maybe finding that psoas stretch in the front left side of the body. On an exhale, tilt that left leg back down, three-legged downward dog. Lower the left foot to the mat. Look between the hands and step towards the top. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair, knees bend, arms rise, weight in the heels. Exhale to stand. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sweep the arms down at your side. Let's take dancer pose. So taking a moment, tune inward, bringing the palms together at the heart. Feel the weight in the feet. Slowly relax the tailbone towards the earth. Straighten through the spine. Shift the weight to the left foot. And just like we did with tree, make a little kickstand with that right toe. Lower the arms to your side. And we're going to try to grab onto that foot with the right hand. So bending the right knee. And you want to take the inside of the foot with the inside of the hand. So just kind of cupping the hand, coming on the inside. Once you're there, maybe you reach the left arm up. Hug the ribs in. Lower the tailbone. Grow roots through that left foot. And this is where we stay. This is just fine as dancer pose. If you'd like to try a little bit more of a challenge, you can begin to tilt forward as you press your foot into your hand, like a bow and arrow, reaching forward, pressing back, finding length, opening through the shoulder and the heart, but keeping the rhythms of life. When you're ready to come up, do so as delicately as you can. And delicate will be different. Take that pause. Take a pause between that physical action of the body and the thoughts that follow. Are they judgmental? Are they excited? Are they frustrated? Are they relieved? Just notice. And when you're ready, lift the gaze, we'll take the other side. Shift the weight to the right foot, cupping that left hand. We're going to bend that left knee and grab the inside of the left foot. Find your balance, pressing down through the lower body, gathering that energy up through the spine, reach the right arm up. Stay here or begin to send the left knee back, heart reach forward, reach forward. Squeezing the foot and the hand together like a bow and arrow, strong through that leg. Think forward. It's okay if you fall. Maybe lifting up. Trying to keep the hips square to the mat. Again, if you fall out, just come back. Breathe. Inhale slowly back up to center. When you're ready, play around as long as you'd like. Releasing the left foot, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Step the feet back to plank. Lower all the belly. Find a rest here. Lowering one side of the face or the forehead down to the mat. Exhale, open mouth. Bring your palms next to your shoulders. And inhale, lift up to seal. You can also stay in cobra. Cobra. Squeezing the elbows in towards each other, straight down, or sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders, forearms down, fingertips spread wide. In all of these postures, we're looking for that openness in the heart. You can widen your feet and tuck the tailbone. If your low spine feels a little crunchy in any of these, press the shoulders away from the ears, long through the neck. So your gaze is somewhat downward in all of these postures. 2 or 3 more deep rounds of breath here. On an exhale, lower the forehead down to the mat. Reach the arms back. Bring the legs together to the big toes touch. On an inhale, we'll take locust pose, lifting the heart. So finding that same cobra-like posture, but the arms are reaching back. You can clasp your fingertips together if you'd like. Maybe finding a little bit more lift. Press the pubic bone down into the mat. Releasing the low back, toes still together. Maybe you begin to lift your feet if you'd like to take full locust, totally optional. Hands next to your chest. Lift up, shift back to child's pose. Again, either widening the knees to the edges of the mat or keeping the knees together. Doesn't matter. Find what feels good for you. Forehead down to the mat. Let out a big exhale. Appreciate this moment that you've worked yourself to. And to tent up the fingertips, so just the finger pads are on the mat. And walk them over the left side, finding a side body stretch. So walk your fingertips over the left side of the mat. Release the head. Inhale, breathe into that left side body. Exhale it out. Inhale back to center. Spend a breath here, realigning the spine. And then inhale, walk the hands over the right side of the mat. Side body stretch here. Press into the left hip and left shoulder for a little additional tension. Inhale into that tension. Exhale, softness and release. Inhale the fingertips back to center. Curl the spine just until you find hero pose, knees together. Arms at your side. Plant your right hand. Reach the right arm up. Exhale it down. Shift the hips to one side and extend the legs long out in front of you. I'm going to take a forward fold. It's okay if your knees are bent a little bit. You can always roll up the back of your mat if you'd like a little bit more lift in the hips there to make this a little bit more accessible, especially if you've got tight hamstrings. You can also roll a blanket or blocks underneath your knees. So get yourself set up for a forward fold. We're going to be in it for about 5 rounds of breath. Roll the shoulders down the back, plant the hands next to your hips. Coming through staff pose, an L shape. Looks simple, doesn't feel simple if you're doing it right. Spin the inner thighs down, big toes to touch. And even though we're pressing down, we're sitting down, we want to find a little lift out of the pelvis. Lower the shoulders. And then inhale, reach the arms up without moving those shoulders. So keep them in their sockets. Inhale, broaden through the collarbone, look up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, bring your belly over your thighs, reach the arms forward, still keeping them in their sockets. So I'm not reaching here, keeping the back straight. Lower the hands down wherever they may. Shrug the shoulders back and down as you inhale, lift the heart. Now release. Allow the spine to curl, let the head hang heavy. You can reach for your feet if you'd like, or even your big toes. You can walk the heels away if you'd like to find a little bit straighter legs. And then breathe here. 5 rounds of unhurried, self-focused breath. Maybe spending a little bit of time in that pause between the inhales and exhales. Take a final round of breath in, looking up halfway, and exhale, release. Draw the hands back up the legs as you begin to sit up. Unroll the back of the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to open wide. Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose, also called butterfly in the yin practice. And once again, we're going to sit up straight, roll the shoulders down the back, lifting through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, fold over the feet. Maybe you clasp your fingers over your toes and use that leverage to gently inhale, lengthen through the spine. Maybe you reach forward a little bit more. And then exhale, maybe you wiggle your elbows in front of your shins to help you lower down a little bit more. Maybe sitting straight up is just enough for your hips, and that's okay. Find the shape that works for you. These are all just suggestions. Release the neck. Begin to allow the spine to curl. Tuning into the breath. On your inhale, look up. Begin to sit up. And then just lean over to the left, bringing that right knee up. And from here, we're going to move to deer or pigeon pose. So we're going to start in deer, lower that right knee down at about a 90-degree angle. Heel toe that left foot to the edge of the mat. And you can stay here. Fingertips to the mat, lifting up. And then walking the fingertips wide as you lower your chest over that left leg. Good. Maybe you stay here. If you'd like pigeon, you can slowly walk that back leg towards the back of your space. Make sure you're not rolling onto the hip to do so. We're still squaring the hips towards the top of the mat, trying to keep that front leg parallel as much as you can. If you're taking this pigeon variation, find a little lift, engage through. You should be able to lift up. Fingertips wide, like you're spreading your wings and lowering your heart down. So this will be a little bit more active of a posture. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward for more sensation, and breathe. Two or three more rounds of breath here. If you took pigeon, begin to lower onto that hip. From deer or pigeon, begin to sit up. And then we're going to take that right leg and cross it over the left for cow face pose. Right arm comes up overhead, bending at the elbow. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Reach that left arm back around. Back of the left hand comes to your back. Maybe you can wiggle your fingertips together. Maybe not. Mine don't quite touch yet either. Open through the heart. Lift through the pelvis. Pressing down with the sitting bones, but sitting up straight. And exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale to sit back up. Full breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale to sit back up. Release the arms, bring them both up overhead. And then exhale, fold over the legs as you clasp your fingertips together behind you. Pull the fists away from you and reach the arms up overhead as you lower your forehead towards your knee. Inhale to sit back up. Release the arms. And exhale, plant the hands down in front of you, or behind you, actually, about 6 inches. Shift the weight back. Extend the legs wide for wide-legged forward fold. Sitting up straight, fingertips in, lengthen to the heart. Exhale, walk the hands forward as you hinge at your hips and lower the gaze. 3 breaths here. Let your breath focus your mind. Inhale to sit back up, walking the fingertips in. And we're going to go right to deer pose from here. So this time the right knee is going to bend. So the right leg is parallel to the top of the mat. Shift the weight. Just lean over to the right so you can draw that left heel back behind you. About a 90-degree angle or whatever feels best. Here's your deer posture. Sitting up straight, walking the hands forward, shrugging the shoulders back, lifting the heart. Staying here or making your way to pigeon by walking that left foot back. Come up off that right hip, draw the energy up and in, right hip back, left hip forward. So maybe you find a little bit of lift. Lower your hands. Keep the fingertips propped as you lower the chest, but keep a little lift here. Don't lower down onto that right hip. Shoulders back, breathe. Whether you're in deer or pigeon or somewhere in between. Focus the breath on that right hip. Soften through the jaw. 2 more rounds of breath. And then just lower down onto that right hip. Bring that left knee to cross over the right for cow face pose. Inhale the left arm up, bending at that left elbow. Give yourself a little low back. Working your fingertips towards each other. Open through the heart. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, bringing the heart past the knee or working that way, all the way out through the breath. Your inhale lifts you back up to sit. Exhale, lowering, finding this dynamic cow face fold. Inhale to sit back up. Release the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold as you bring your arms back behind you. Clasp the fingertips together. Roll the shoulders back. Press the arms back and up. Breathe. Inhale to sit up. Reach the arms up. And then exhale them down behind you. Shift your weight back. Extend the legs, uncrossing them. Wide-legged forward fold. Arms inside. Roll the shoulders back. Sit up straight. Exhale. Bring the heart forward as you walk your fingertips. Big breath in. Full releasing breath out. Inhale, walk the hands back in. Draw the legs together, bending at the knees, lower on down to your back. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Take some little circles with the knees, massaging out the low back. One direction for a few rounds. And then switching to draw circles the other way. And then gently hug the knees in towards your chest. Reach between the knees and grab onto your shins, ankles, maybe your toes if you can reach them, and find happy baby. Widen the hips, draw the knees downward, straighten the spine against the floor and tuck the chin. Feel the belly lift between the thighs. And then straighten the right leg as you bring the left heel in, maybe tilting towards the right. Inhaling back up, extending the left leg long, tilting a little towards the left. Inhale back up, and then any variation of happy baby that feels good. Any kind of posture, movement. It doesn't even have to be happy baby. We're going to be closing out class. So if there's any final movements before we take our final twists and shavasana, feel free. Move, breathe. Spending a few moments to just intuitively move. It doesn't have to be an official yoga pose. And then when you've gotten that out of your system, bring the feet back down to the mat, knees bent. Shift the hips to the left and bring the knees towards the right. Extend the left arm over the side of the mat and let your gaze follow, looking over your left shoulder, allowing yourself to begin to release from the physical practice, releasing the body onto the mat, enjoying this twist. Notice where you're holding yourself up. Can you let go and let the earth support you? Take 2 or 3 more rounds of breath on this side of the twist. Taking a full exhale out, your last exhale. Inhale the gaze towards the ceiling. Lift the knees back to center and bring the hips back to the center of the mat. Extend the legs long. Reach the arms up overhead to stretch. And then inhale, arms to your side, knees bend, walk the heels in. Shift the hips towards the right side of the mat. Lower the knees to the left. Right arm extends long, gaze follows. Making your way to collapsing onto the mat, the floor, for your twist. Maybe begin to soften or close the eyes here. Relaxing the face. Letting the arms begin to feel heavy. Two or three more rounds of breath here. Open mouth, exhale in your last round of breath. Inhale the gaze to the ceiling. Gently lift the knees. Bring the hips back to center. We'll take one more lengthening stretch. Lengthen the feet and the legs. Reach the arms up overhead. Take the biggest breath in you've taken as you make yourself as tall, as long as you can, until the low back arches off the mat. And then exhale, widen the arms and the legs at your side. Take up as much space as you can, as you'd like. Settle in, quieting the toes and the feet. Allowing the ankles, the legs, and the knees to relax. Feel the hips melting into the earth. Allow the belly to soften and release the awareness of the breath. Allow the shoulders to melt down the sides of your body, softening open the heart space. Feel the arms. Release the fingers. Quiet. Relax the neck. Unclench your jaw and allow the tongue to soften from the roof of the mouth. Feel the corners of the eyes drip down the side of your face as your eyelids close. Unscrunch the forehead. And feel the back your cranium resting safely against the earth. Allow yourself this joy of peaceful presence, of rest. Begin to deepen your inhales, bringing some awareness back to your body, laying on the mat. Awareness of your presence in the room you're in. Begin to gently awaken the physical body with some little movements of the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, legs and arms, bending at the knees, reaching the arms overhead for a stretch, and then rolling to one side, propping your head into your arms, curling into yourself for just another moment. A pause between what was and what is to come. It's you, here, alive. When you're ready, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed or softly gazing downward. On an inhale, bring the palms together at heart center and gaze down towards the fingertips. And exhale through open mouth. Blink open the eyes, release the palms. May you continue to find yourself in those pauses of breath, of thought, of life. I look forward to sharing more of this practice with you on the virtual mat.